Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes. Yay, the gang's all here. Look at there. Damon, having a little sip of liquid courage before we got started this evening. And
Ooh.
Med, welcome in. How you guys doing?
Doing great. It was just a Corona. Don't have them thinking I'm out here drinking vodka before I go on.
Oh,
Casamigos.
oh, I thought that was a vodka with a beer shot.
No, that's just a little tiny Coronita to wash down my Cheetos. people think we eat healthy around here. Psych.
We really
We
do. We have such
yeah
admiration for your staying healthy and working out and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. We actually may go to the gym this evening to see what it's like that time of night so that we can get in because it's spring break and during the day people got their kids in the way.
Oh,
So
right.
it's a lot going on at Lifetime Fitness right now. But yeah, we're having a good time over around here. How's everybody?
All is
Man,
good
doing
here
good.
in Texas. We're waiting for spring to come. We've had the spring storms, but we have not had really great spring weather over the last week or so. How about you, Med? I hear the same thing in Atlanta.
In Atlanta has been god awful. It's been god awful the last few weeks. Right now, I'm in Albany, Georgia,
Oh, that's right.
which
You're on the
is
road.
middle of
That's all
nowhere.
Benny.
But Albany, yeah, Albany,
Mhm.
Georgia. I'm here hosting the screening for Big George Foreman, which comes out April 28th. Very good movie. It covers everything in his life. But funny thing happened to me while I was in Albany, Georgia. Here, there is a poster for The Little Mermaid, of course, with uh,
With
uh,
Hallie Bailey.
Yeah.
Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like the poster's like right across from me, and I see a family come by, a Caucasian family come by, and the father points to it and points to his like daughter and her wife, and just points at it, right? And they look at it and they're like, "I know about make me sick." And I'm like, "Y'all really,
Wow.
y'all really mad
Wow.
about it? Y'all really
That
mad?" Like then
make
they saw,
me sick.
and then they saw me sitting there, and then they kept on walking. I'm like, "All right,
Hmm.
all right,
It's a
Albany,
whole new
Georgia."
world.
Oh,
Right.
they
Well,
don't know
If,
how to
if
handle that.
if they think that made him sick, I bet he would have enjoyed Chloe Bailey's movie. Uh, or,
Sweat.
Come on,
or her
come on,
part, her
Swarm.
part, yeah, on Swarm. She's
It's
making the
like,
rounds on Twitter right
hey,
now.
the funny thing about that, everyone's like, man, it's like it's episodic. I'm like, there's more than one episode. I was like, what?
Oh,
I
that's a
didn't know.
series, huh?
It's a series. I didn't know that. Shoot, I haven't gotten past the first 5 minutes of the movie. So, Sybil, what you want to talk about? Damson Idris got
um,
to be just the luckiest man right now, right? He's just handling his business right now.
so he dates Steve Harvey's daughter, and he's in this movie with
Clapping cheeks,
Chlo-
clapping cheeks.
with
Receiving
Chloe Bailey. Wow.
receiving back shots.
Yes. Chloe
A
said there's a
real
bouncy ball.
throwback.
Chloe said there's a bouncy ball between them. I've seen the scene. I'm like, that
Yeah,
must be one tiny,
she did say that. That has to be the
tiny
smallest
bouncy ball.
little.
There
Yeah.
were three of them.
Ah,
I'm pretty sure there were three bouncy balls behind her.
Oh my god.
woo,
And
all
we're
right.
off.
Ah.
Wow. Guys, let's talk about what's going on in the What You Need to Know newsletter, shall we?
Yes,
This
Shall
yes,
is
we?
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
this is our no, we're keeping it real here, fellas. This is our Monday through Friday effort to super serve the African American community, talking about issues and items and events that do have an effect on us. Even though it may not appear to be a direct effect on us, it does. And start with Donald Trump's announcement about his cases that he's got coming. Of
Multiple.
course, in earlier this week, we talked about the fact that he sent on his social media, Trump Social, that he was going to be arrested on Tuesday. and got all of his people riled up and got a lot of people nervous, because I had visions of January 6th in my head, and all of his supporters coming to surround him as he does what many have called the perp walk. I don't see it as a perp walk, but it's more like Hitler welcoming the masses to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
However, in Georgia, while his lawyers were trying to handle this, how they're going to work all this out if this does happen with the Manhattan DA, the brother, Bragg, his lawyers in Georgia are taking their frustrations out on the Fulton County DA, the sister Fani Willis. And his so you got the hush money thing happening in New York. Then you got his alleged intrusion into the the outcome of the Georgia 2020 presidential election, and which is what Fani Willis has had the special grand jury in session investigating. So his lawyers have now reported, it's been reported that his lawyers requested a hearing on their motion for it to be heard by another Superior Court judge and not the one who's been over the grand jury. They are focusing on the hope to quash the report from the special grand jury about Donald Trump's interference in the 2020 election. His lawyers have argued that, number one, all the evidence from the special grand jury, and they've been in panel for about 7 months, and they want all of this to be, and any evidence that has come out of this, they want it to be deemed unconstitutional. First of all. Secondly, they want the district attorney, Fani Willis, to be disqualified from the additional investigation or the prosecution of the former president. And any evidence or information that came from the report is deemed unconstitutional. So they don't like anything about it. They want to go before a judge and say, none of this works. No, erase. And they want it to go away. So this is their effort to show the boss that they're working, while others, such as Alvin Bragg and his staff, are working to bring charges against Donald in terms of the hush money with the porn star Stormy Daniels.
And after saying all of that, he's probably still going to be the Republican nominee.
And that's the bottom line.
He's still going to be the Republican nominee. I mean, I don't think any of this matters. What bothered me, and the funny thing about this is that he this time literally told people to come out.
Yeah,
come out and protest.
He said, "Arise, let's go."
Let's protest. He called in the troops. He called in his troops to come in and act up. I'm like, you like this time? You really saying no? I'm just going to do it this time. I'm gonna make sure it's loud and clear that you're going to come out and support me by protesting and acting the fool if they come and arrest me. Donald Trump is a piece of work, but he understands how to work it. He knows what he's doing. Like I said, I don't think he knows. I don't think anything's going to come of this. I've gotten to the point now where I'm kind of sick and tired of the Democrats and everybody on the left so focused on the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? They're so focused on the boogeyman. They're trying everything, and everything they've done, whether it be what do they call it? Impeach him twice. Twice nothing happens. Yeah. They're like, oh my God, they talk about like the embarrassment of being impeached. Do you think this man gets embarrassed? Do you think this man, it doesn't touch nothing? He's Teflon. So we need to move past Donald and just handle stuff in the DNC and what you guys want to do there. Let the Republicans eat themselves alive and keep it moving, because this is a waste of time, in my opinion.
And Damon, I paid the money.
He did it. We know the whole deal on that. But as far as moving past him, I think we cannot, because he's still dangerous. If he gets power again, there's no telling what will happen, because he knows he can't run again. So he'll be a fool in office. So it is very important that we still continue to battle him and try to keep him out of office. As far as Stormy Daniels, I just wonder, was it worth it? I mean, like, did she put it on him for this 130? Yeah, I wonder, was it worth it? But with the arrest, though, let me say this: the arrest, did it take place? Has the arrest taken place of him yet? Even ceremoniously, because I was wondering where these protests are supposed to take place, and if so, if he did in fact call out his minions and they didn't show up, that would be a rude awakening for him. So
Right.
I think some of them are past just running, being subject to his dog whistle, and also they saw that they'll be prosecuted if they act a fool. So
They've
that
seen what
could,
happens.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
yeah,
it. That's
yeah,
exactly it, Damon, because I read an article today saying that, the response to Donald this time has been very lukewarm. Yeah, you'll have a couple of people stand up there and, and chant and cheer, whatever, for him, but no one's going to act a fool because of what happened to the people that, stormed in January 6th. They got some real time. Like, there's a bunch of them that got some real time, even ones that didn't make the news. They went to jail. Some of them are
Right.
still in jail. Nobody wants to have to
and
deal with that. And they're waiting. And New York City police, they're waiting on, please come here,
Come
act a
right,
fool.
Come on.
right.
Like, please come
And
on.
then he
No,
doesn't have Twitter, so he on probably Truth Social. If the news would just stop telling us what he says on Truth Social, nobody would know what he said on Truth Social.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, we kind of have to tell people, man, I
Right.
get what you're saying, because
Yeah.
it does kind of empower people. But what has happened with this is, especially not in New York, they're not going to get very far there. He's not going to let him into Trump Tower if he is there, but he is likely in Florida. And where they show in Florida, there's maybe about 30, 40, 50 cars out there with their Trump flags and park, because he's not letting them onto Mar-a-Lago land. So they're in the surrounding environs, and they're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. What's likely to happen if he is arrested, they're going to swoop down in a helicopter. They're going to take him out so that they can't be stopped by, the crazies and their F-150s or whatever. And then they can, fly him to a plane and then put him on a plane to New York. And New York is ready for them, and the government police are ready for them. So it's likely to be a whole, lot of who shot John, but very little fire is going to come out of this. You're right.
I didn't expect
Alvin
him to, I didn't expect him to get arrested today either, because of all the noise he made about being arrested today. Watch he get arrested on Thursday.
Right.
Like,
why say the day? No, we're good.
We can
as a matter of
wait.
fact, let's bring in some more people to talk to. Let's
Right.
have some more folks come in and talk to the grand jury.
He probably made that all up him damn self, because he loves to lie. So he might have just said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be arrested too. See, tell him, get my people all up in arms. He has no idea, because he doesn't dictate what the Justice Department or the prosecutors do and their time frame. So I'm sad we even still talking about this clown, but like I said, you can't ignore him because he's still very dangerous.
Loves to lie and loves the attention.
Loves and that's dangerous. That's a dangerous combination.
Very much so.
But what is very interesting is his minions in the House and the Senate and what they're saying about it and how they're responding, because these are the people that are going to be there or hope to be there if he is reelected president. And a lot of them are hoping that their stature will rise as a result of anything that happens regarding him getting the Republican nomination and foolishly thinking that he's going to win. But let's talk about something positive then, Damon. Let's talk about the new mayor of the city of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, who got out of the United States Congress, and into the fire of Los Angeles city politics. But she is a woman of her word. She declared an emergency, a city emergency regarding homelessness. And this was when she moved into the position of mayor of Los Angeles 100 days ago. This is the 100th day anniversary of her becoming mayor of Los Angeles. She has great numbers, and she did very well in the runoff election she had against the billionaire businessman. She declared homelessness a state of emergency, and now she says the city will be housing more than 4,000 homeless Angelenos by her 100th day. That's pretty good. I was on with Erica Campbell this morning, and she said even driving around the city, she said you can see the difference in the way the encampments are. She said people had full homes on street corners. Living room furniture and that kind of thing.
2 stories.
Yeah. Right.
I did. I saw a guy. He had built a double decker, man. He was there to stay.
Yeah.
He had
And
he had he had a staircase.
He
He had a
had more
staircase.
room than a New York apartment. That's for sure.
for sure. Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she said that it's a different feel now, and that they have put people in real structures that are sanctioned by the city, and it's a different feel in the city of Los Angeles. So she is a woman of her word, and they say that she would like to see the 17,000 people to be housed by the end of this year. And so 100 days in, and you look at us now, we're 8 months away from the end of the year, that
Mm-hmm.
she's going to be on a steady pace to improve this.
So
Yeah.
this kind of shows you what it looks like when politicians actually care. One of the main things that kind of upset me about the story was hearing how most politicians before her had an issue saying that, well, it's not possible for me to do it within my time
Right.
frame, so I just wash my hands of it. It is just,
Right.
leave it alone. And that's how most politicians feel. If I can't fix it within the time that I'm here, why even try to start to fix the problem? So
Right.
for Mayor Bass to do this, you know what I'm saying, and to actually show that things can be done. So once she is done, once her time's up as mayor, it should push whoever's next to continue what she started, and that's what politics should be about. Get things started, show some, some success, and then other politicians can get in and be a part of it and help continue to fix the problem. A lot of these politicians don't want to fix the problem because they don't feel like they'll get enough credit, that it won't, fall on their time, and so they don't do anything about it. And it's a sad thing, and I'm glad she's doing her part.
I
We
don't
live
think
in
they know what to do, man.
Well, we live in a country where the values and the motives are twisted. I'm sure the billionaire who ran against her had enough money to house 1,000 people himself, but he
By
probably spent
himself. Yep.
millions of dollars attempting to get the job with
Right.
smear commercials, and we're wasting. They need to find a way to get the money out of campaigning and out of elections. It's not going to happen, but if we could get the money to be used for the people, so you could say, "Here's my track record. This is what I did," and if they started competing like that, then it would serve the people. But clearly, they're not doing these jobs or taking these jobs for serving their people. Is really for clout and whatever financial gain they get behind it. Otherwise, why would you spend 20-30 million dollars of your own money to run for a governorship or president or even a mayoral office? I mean, the fact that they spent, and I always dwell on this, the original or the initial election between Herschel Walker and and Warnock, they spent $241 million on the campaign.
Right.
That's before the runoff. That could have taken care of all of the issues that they're campaigning on and the platforms that they say they want to do and that they now have no money for. So we got to get the paradigm has to switch with the money in this country.
And
I
I
had a
think
conversation
that
with Jeffrey Beckham. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with
Oh,
Jeffrey
right.
Beckham
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about New York and how New York has kind of gone in that route and taken it, where it's like almost like a crowdsourced funding, but it's not. You can't be paid by big time corporations and things like that. So more people have an opportunity to get in there. That he said, Mayor Adams did not spend that much money when it comes to running for office. So, if we could go more so in that direction, like Damon said, it can make a huge difference in how these cities are taken care of.
I'd like to think that she is setting a template and laying out a game plan for other mayors to follow in the up and coming elections. I would love to have had, if it was possible, and have a time shift, if it is possible for Lori Lightfoot to have come behind someone like Mayor Bass, and to try to put Chicago on the right track. Now, for whatever it's worth, whether you like her, you love her, I and I was not a big fan of hers, but I had hopes that she would make a difference in the city of Chicago. As it turns out, the city appears to be worse than it was when she started, from a police standpoint, and from the violence and the homelessness and things like that. But I think that Karen Bass as a seasoned politician, has really given them something to look at, to think about, and to work towards in the future.
And even if they don't do it from a humanitarian standpoint, it's bad for business to have downtown Los Angeles cluttered and littered with homeless people. San Francisco
Hollywood, right?
downtown is terrible. Chicago hasn't gotten there yet in the downtown area, but they had to clear out our airports, and it's starting to get closer to downtown. So if you want tourism, that generates the money to clear up the homelessness, if nothing else. So
Right.
I don't know.
And could be pushing the studios out of the town because of what
Yeah.
they're finding, close enough to them.
You know,
One more
Unless they're
thing.
doing zombie movies.
You're right.
If they want to do some zombie movies, they got a
Yeah.
cast of characters already just rolling
Already.
around.
Don't
Also,
even need makeup.
No makeup, no
Right.
wardrobe.
It's real. It's real. We also have a weekly column by the wonderful Katrina M. Kraft, CPA to the stars, and she asks and answers the question, how much money should I be keeping in my savings account versus my checking account? And gives you a breakdown on that. So please take a look at that. Go to SybilWilkes.com to subscribe, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. And that is first thing, and it'll cost you nothing. We are free in 2023. All right. What's really going on? The question of the day. Today is the first full day of spring. Meteorological and astronomical spring are now aligned. This is the first full day. It came in yesterday while we were doing the show. So the question is, when you think of spring, a lot of us think about spring cleaning and, out with the old and in with the new. Who or what are you hoping to spring clean out of your life? Who
Donald
or
Trump.
what? Ned is first in line. All others fill in right there.
Right. Yeah, it's get him off my feed, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The thing about the funny thing, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I ain't dealing with a lot of people right now that
right.
It's like to clean out. Everyone that's in my circle, that's in that needs to be around me, have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm pretty lucky that I don't have to really do a lot. I don't have a lot of clutter when it comes to people being around me. So that's kind of the dope thing.
So do you think that's a result of the pandemic? Because I think a lot of us are still in a closed off kind of situation in terms of our work and our personal lives.
Absolutely. I'm still predominantly working from home. I'll go into the studio every once in a while. The funny thing is I work at the Black Information Network, and this past weekend, some of the anchors from other parts of the country came into town, and it was like the first time I got to meet some coworkers that I've been working with for over a year, and I'm meeting them for the first time in person.
Wow.
So, it's just the way it is right now. So I'm not really around a lot of people too much. I'm like, it's like it'll take something for me to leave the house, because there's really nothing for me to do outside the house, because everything's inside the house. Outside of Blake and doing things with him, there's nothing really for me to do.
Wow.
Everything I do.
You got no honeydews or anything you want to get rid of?
Man, look here. That all the honeydews, guess what? It was within the house. It's within the house. Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do that. But outside of that, there's really nothing for me to do outside.
What about you, Damon? You're such a people person, and you are out there. You are in the world, whether it's a comedy date at Riddles or whether it's one in another city. You're out there and you're amongst the people and having conversations. Is there anything that you could do away with that you'd like to sweep out for spring cleaning?
Well, people know, but just general clutter between paperwork and clothes I'm not using and wearing, and shoes I need to donate, and a garage I need to clean out. That should be my focus and will be my focus for this spring, because I plan on being outside all summer long. Right. I caught on to the end of it last year, started taking my bike to the lake and stuff like that. We're going to take these dogs out. We're going to be outdoors. We're going to enjoy it, because it happens so quickly, and you look up and it's cloudy and winter again. Even though thank the Lord we didn't have a serious winter this year, and now we're in spring, so I'm optimistic. So the only thing I want to get rid of is clutter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
with you, and procrastinating about getting rid of it. It's like, oh, not today, not today,
yeah,
not today. Well, when? When
yeah,
when are you going to do it? And so
exactly.
that's me, and trying to get through this stuff, and really things that I want to get rid of, and the person that I want to give these things to is collects a lot of stuff, so I don't want to add to the collection, and so
Right.
my stuff will go to those organizations I think that can use it. But that is the question for us, asking folks today: who or what would you like to spring clean out of your life on this first day of spring? Benicia Green on Facebook says all negative people. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the negativity. That's why we have Yogi's Jewels to keep us on the up and up and on the positive tip. Absolutely. Shirley and Tony Davis, our friend on Facebook, I'm spring cleaning negativity out of my life. So there's the theme right there. And so that means turning on no television and watching a lot of the national news, because there is a lot of negativity there to be heard and seen.
Plenty.
Were you going to say something, man?
Yeah, no, I was about to say, like, in my housing complex, the HOA brings by dumpsters every spring for people just to come in, come out and throw stuff away. And this is the first time I've ever I saw that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, the first time we did it, we threw away a whole couch, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, this is great. And so I tell people all the time, I suggest actually ordering dumpsters and have it roll up to your house and just clean the stuff out. Or
do what I plan to do is wait till somebody else orders a dumpster, and in the middle of the night, fill it up for them.
I'll say this though. I tried doing it at a store, and they have the dumpsters in the back. I had some garbage and I threw it in there. They will find you. Did you know that?
Nah, you got to go to places where they're renovating properties, where they're rehabbing houses and things like that. You can't go commercial. They got cameras, man.
Yeah.
Ned, they found you.
Yeah, they found me. I got a little ticket. I was like, this is amazing. I did not know y'all cared this much about who garbage away in this big dumpster of yours.
Maybe they have to pay by the pound. I don't know. Or the ounce. I don't know.
They went through that garbage and found my address and came and got me. I was like, that's okay.
Yeah, that's diligence.
That really is. That's an intern's job right there. I don't know what else to say.
Or inmate job.
Right.
Yolanda, we have more people who are signing in. Terry Tull on Facebook, people who constantly complain and still doing nothing.
My God.
Talking loud and doing nothing. You're absolutely right. What was that song from? Talking loud and doing nothing.
And saying nothing.
And saying nothing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talking loud and saying this. I can't remember what that was. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of negativity. And so, and to borrow from Yolanda again, we have to manifest the positivity and breathe in the positivity and let go of the negativity. And that includes, getting rid of some people in our lives. If that's what's going to keep you going and lift you up and lift your spirits and take you to the next level, then, definitely. I don't recommend cleaning, the people out of your life, but they will find their way. If you are of a mindset, they'll find their way away from you. I believe that. Absolutely. CM Williams on Facebook just ordered my Well, let's find out where CM Williams is and go take our stuff over there, guys. He just ordered in the middle of the night today in spring cleaning in full effect. TYO Dimples on YouTube. How are you? Definitely clearing the clothes closet. Yes, absolutely. And I haven't bought a lot of clothes. I've had to buy some for appearances and stuff. But for the most part, I have it, but it's filling up, and so and in moving it was pretty empty, and now it's filling up. So you're absolutely right. Time to clear out with the old and in with the new, especially if we're going to be buying cruise clothes. Tyrone Bourne on Facebook says, "I'm going to box up this year's tax papers. I don't want to see till next year." It's done. Done. I love that, Tyrone. Absolutely. Get her done. That's right.
Gone.
So all of those old papers, and this might be something, Katrina. I believe it's what, after 7 years you can get rid of some of those things. Is it 7 or 10 years that you can get rid of all your tax papers and things like that?
I'd be
Yeah,
scared of
nowadays
throwing
you should
anything
just.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be terrified.
I'm reticent to do that as well. Manuel Murphy on Facebook said, "Me, I'm just waiting for Lent to end."
You know that means Manuel gave up something big. And he's Manuel hungry. He got a sweet tooth or something. He hungry.
Or for something or someone, perhaps.
Yeah, right. He picked the wrong thing to give up. You should have went with potato chips.
M. Henderson on YouTube said, "People that disturbs my spirit." Yes. People that disturbs my spirit, out. You want to name some names? M. Henderson? I don't know. I'm not going to encourage that. I'm not just being silly. Just being silly. Camellia Mills on Facebook, all calorie filled goodies. Well, then that's everything out of your house. Every sweet, every goodie. What do you have in there that doesn't have calories? That's a goodie.
No goodies. Deborah
Barcloud on YouTube, white people who still. I'm sorry. I'm going to get through this. Deborah Barcloud. Ned saw them in Albany, by the way. White
Albany.
People who still live in the 1800s.
You got to keep your head on the swivel down here.
Right?
Make sure I'm all right.
Albany. I haven't been to Albany in a very long time, but yeah.
Real quick question, Sybil. Why were you here? I've driven around this lovely little city, and why?
Albany State. Albany State is there,
okay.
and
true.
Being on the HBCU tour with the Tom Joyner show, we show our love to all of the HBCUs, and oftentimes we would go to the school and we would do a sky show and all of that kind of stuff. So
Sybil,
Albany.
I asked a young lady who worked here at the movie theater. I'm like, so what do you do down here in Albany for like fun? Go to the movies. I'm like, well, you work here. Okay. So okay. I was like, shoot. And she's like, there's a bowling alley. I'm like, okay.
Aww.
Oh, and she's like, and there's a skating rink down the street. I'm like, that's excellent.
That's great old-fashioned Americana.
That is good old-fashioned fun.
And she's like, she goes, there's Kohl's over there. I'm like, hey.
Wait, say that again. There's what over there?
Kohl's, the department. Kohl's.
The store.
Yeah,
I thought you said corn, but you blanked out.
That's what I thought it was too, because it was like a glitch there.
Kohl's. K-O-H-L. Yes.
Go spend your Kohl's cash.
Okay. That's right. That's right. That's funny. That is very funny. Aubrey Williams on YouTube. I would love to spring clean these ladies wearing these bonnets in public. I'm seeing them everywhere now, even at a lawyer offices. What?
Well,
they don't have no designer.
It's the norm now.
No.
Might as well just call them hats.
Is it the norm? Can we call that what it's the state of our cosmetic or our hair culture today to wear
it's accepted. Like these bonnets are. It seems like they're accepted now because I see it all the time. My favorite one is and I understand this when I'm dropping off my son at school. Ooh, the bonnet parade.
First thing in the
dropping
morning.
Off the kids in the
bonnet
morning.
parade.
That bonnet parade in the morning, and it's like car, bonnet. I'm like, man, and these bonnets be out of control. They're huge.
Quiet as kept. Ludacris just he and his daughter just launched a new bonnet line based on a character. They have a animated series of some sort, and so it's coming into the mainstream.
Wow.
They're starting to get them to match. They get matching bonnet purse matches, bonnet shoe purse combos,
and the whole pajama set, like a tank top and sweatpants and shoes and the bonnet.
It all goes together.
Yeah.
But did we have an issue with men with the do-rags out in public?
Yeah, of course we did.
We did.
Well, my issue with men is grown men who are still wearing their pants with below their butts. That's my issue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the whole purpose of the do rag is to get your waves in order. So when you
Right.
come out, your
Once you
waves in
leave the
order.
house, you should be straight, right?
That's
It was
crazy.
a
Yeah,
in college. In college, that was a hat. The in college,
yeah.
it was the do rag was a hat. It was an accessory. It was, but I was like, isn't this like
Right.
the same as a bonnet for men? I'm confused.
Pretty much.
Wow.
That wasn't
Wow.
cool either.
No, I'm with you. I would like to spring clean those out too. That's just a personal thing. In my house, and not even when I have company, if you know what I mean, will there be a bonnet? I'm sorry. That's just me. I just pull my hair up and I go to bed. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move to what's going on today.
Do that
David
again,
said,
Sybil.
man, I was about to say, David
I do this. I do this.
Yeah,
I
that's
twirl it. I take this.
yes.
Do this.
That
And
is
I'm
boom,
done.
boom.
that is
I,
that is a glorious sight.
I
That
saw, I
means
saw, I
that's
saw
something a
David's face
man normally only that's something you only see on your birthday. Like, hey,
on
it's your
your
birthday.
on your birthday,
All right.
or when you clean the house. It's like when the man cleans the
Right.
house. Oh,
Oh, you gonna
yeah.
clean the house? Huh? All right. Yeah. Happy anniversary, baby.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I never thought you guys would be able to make me blush, but thank you very
Oh,
much
Oh
for that.
my
Taking me there.
gosh. Oh my
what?
God.
What's going on today? Today is J. Anthony Brown's birthday. Happy birthday, old timer.
Happy
Hopefully you're
birthday,
having a
Jay.
good day.
Oh
Dave,
man, I texted him today for something else. I didn't even know, so I'm gonna call him.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Call him and help him put out that forest fire that's on his cake. Damon, how's Cleveland?
Cleveland worked out pretty well. Over 1,000 people showed up for the 4 shows we did,
Nice.
and I was
Nice.
very grateful to see them. The weather was crummy; it was rainy and windy on St. Patrick's Day, and so
Oh,
I thought it
perfect.
might be a hindrance, but they came on out. So shouts out to WZAK 93.1 listeners, and that are probably our listener or viewers here too. And Sam Silk, they helped me punch it out, and it was a great time.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Up next, Memphis Chuckles this weekend.
Oh, you're going to Honey Jackstown.
Yeah, and she's Jada's definitely coming. Her mother's birthday is this weekend.
That's right. That's
Dope.
right. I
Yeah,
just put it in the birthday list.
yep.
Absolutely. What's going on at Riddles this weekend?
Riddles this weekend. I got a brother who actually did Laugh Tonight, my show on Urban Flicks. His name is Kevin Tate. Hilarious brother. And it's hosted by Corey Bell, who is Monique's traveling partner on the road. She's on her special, Corey Bell and Kevin Tate. And it's always a
Yeah.
plethora of comedians that show up to go up, especially when we have people out of town. Michael Blackson did a pop-up show Sunday night, 10:30, sold it out. We announced
Really?
it. We announced this Saturday, and it was gone by Sunday after doing 7 shows at the Improv in Schaumburg. But he called me up.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
it's been
awesome,
yeah
Damon.
everything. The comedy is cracking. People get your laughs on. I know a lot of people need laughter, and trust me, it's cheaper for you to come and laugh and get that stress off than it is to pay bail if you slap your boss. So just come on down,
Yes. Yes, you're
laugh, get
right.
some
It's a
laugh
lot
therapy.
cheaper.
Get
You're
you some
right.
laugh therapy. Look on DamonWilliamsComedy.com as you see on the
It's
screen. I'll tell you where all of that is.
and Med, tell us about the movie that you're hosting and what does that look
Yeah,
like?
so yeah, Big George Foreman is coming out April 28th. It is literally about the life of George Foreman. And if you think about it, you really haven't heard the life story of George Foreman. You usually hear the story of George Foreman through the eyes of Muhammad Ali. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, through all the Ali documentaries, all the Ali movies, the Rumble in the Jungle, the fight in Zaire, you always hear it from Ali's side of things. In this
Mm.
movie, you get to see George Foreman come up out of poverty. You see him go to the Job Corps, and you see him learn to box, while he's at the Job Corps, which, impressively enough, I knew he won the gold medal. I didn't know he learned to box a year before that. It was 1
He
year
had
before
one
he won.
year to
He
prepare for
learned
the Olympics.
because what it was is he wanted, he come from poverty. When he saw what Joe Frazier, who was making,
Uh-huh.
money at the time, he's like, I want to be this guy. I want to be the heavyweight champion in the world. His trainer was like, let's take some time. You know, I can get you into the Golden Gloves. I can get, you know, he goes, when is the Olympics? He's like, the Olympics is next year in Mexico City. Let's wait to the next one. So in about 5 years, you know what I'm saying? You'll be ready to go. He's like, 5 years? I'll be an old man by then. Again, this man is 18 years old at the time. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And so in 1 year, he turned from learning how to box to being a gold medal winner. And then 2 or 3 years later, heavyweight champ by knocking out Joe Frazier. I can't wait to
see this. He's always been such a delightful man. And I loved his spirit, his humility, and his love for all people named George.
Right.
So, but here's the funny thing. The person that you're going to see before that transformation, you're not going to recognize as George Foreman. I didn't know how angry that man was when he was young. Mm-hmm. He was an angry human being. He tried to kill people in the ring. It was he was full of, and you know, they deal with it in this movie, the rage that he had.
Did he have a situation with a young girl that he was with and got pregnant or anything like that?
George had an appetite for not just food.
Yeah, I mean, we're not hating. I'm just asking, is that covered in the movie?
Oh no, it's covered. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Because I thought I was confusing him with Karl Malone. I know Karl Malone had a situation too.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a Karl. I don't know if it was a
13 or 14-year-old.
Yeah,
girl,
not like that.
But
George had a lot of women.
Well, that much we know. Yeah, that was the 70s. You know, free love. Yeah. That's what's wrong with a lot of us now, because a lot of young men were raised by their fathers, and their fathers' heroes were the Superfly and Mac. So, so it's kind of hard to set an example when you want to be Superfly. You know,
exactly.
And on the flip side, go ahead.
Flip side, Damon?
On the flip side, it wasn't just blacks. You know, the white men had James Bond and our man Flint. You know, everybody was playboys and Hugh Hefner. Yeah, you know, so
absolutely,
it was a different time.
It was a different time, yeah. And now those old guys living through these times, go figure, and trying to figure out who is who and what is what. I would love to have an opportunity to talk to the people that you're working with, Med, and have them come on and talk about the movie. And the same is for Damon. We were talking to you about a movie that you have coming out as well. I believe it's going to be on one of the streaming services.
Yes, and I have a short film that's being submitted to film festival. So we'll definitely talk about that. The movie you're talking about is Can't Get Right, and Marcus Head is the guy, and I'll put you guys in touch with him so he can come on and talk it up.
Okay, cool. I love the movies, and even that's the only thing in my town. I'd love to go and participate.
Albany, where I work and have fun at my.
But after the movie though.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Let's move to the weather, shall we? I sent these pictures to Yolanda. These are from my cousin in Southern California. The rains are still there, and my cousin is still looking for the arc to come past. Heavy rain, mountain snow blast in California again, and forecasters are saying that this one may pack even more of a punch than recent storms. This is as a result of the storms that are hitting them and hitting them hard in Southern California, and not just in the mountains. It's come down, and a lot of folks are saying that this is crazy. But this is more heavy snow in the Sierra Nevada. The storm is not classified as the atmospheric river as we had last week. In the city of Santa Rosa, about 55 miles north of San Francisco, Sunday storm added a staggering rainfall total. The city has officially received more than triple its historical average rainfall for the month of March, taking in 10 inches of rainfall as of Monday. At this point in the north, Santa Rosa usually receives just under 3 inches, and Sunday's storm also forced new evacuation orders near 2 central California towns due to the possibilities of the residents becoming isolated due to the impassable roadways, which we've been talking about for a while, man. But definitely it still continues. Los Angeles is among the cities having picked up almost 25 inches of rain in the downtown as of St. Patrick's Day weekend. That's a staggering 208% of that area's historical average of just under 12 inches to date. Santa Barbara has received nearly double its typical total of 14 inches, tallying 24 inches of rain. And that includes one boost of almost 4.5 inches of rain that fell just a little while ago. So my cousin is showing me where her husband is trying to keep all of the rain from coming through their roof, which is, so he has to go up on the roof. He does all the tarping and even the things that come through. He's taping, just trying to keep everything. Their floors are ruined. Everything is just a mess. And trying to live their lives, with kids and going to work and all of this. It's more than an ocean. So,
and they've been fortunate for a long time because I'm sure lots of them had roof issues that weren't magnified until this happened. But on the flip side, for years they've been having water restrictions and drought in that area.
Now that's
so
done.
It's just nature, kind of making up for that. Yeah, let us hope that it levels out, and then they'll be better off in the long run. Because like the wine country up there in Northern California, a lot of that was going through between the fires and the drought, and it'll probably prevent those terrible fires they have every summer. So there may be a bright side to it.
Because they may not have any brush. They may not have any trees.
Right. But my thing is, my thinking process of this is like no fires, but now mudslides. That mudslides has always been a problem in California, and with all this water, all this wetness, all this moisture, whenever I go out there, I'm always amazed by the hills. It's like I'm just like, how are these things just sitting up here like this? And like there'll be rock structures that I'm just sitting here just like, this doesn't make sense that it should be sitting like this.
Right. And so houses just perched, right there. Yeah.
And I'm just like, this doesn't feel safe. And so when you hear about all this rain, I'm always just thinking, I'm like mudslides, erosion, things like that happening in these areas. And so I'm hoping that, the rain, that while it does, bring life and positivity, that it doesn't bring, just problems in the future. That's all I'm concerned about.
More rain, more problems.
Yeah. And their plush hillside mansions, they like to brag and tell us about how California weather is so beautiful and perfect. It's unfortunate they're going through this now, but now they get what the real world is like. We have hardship all the time. Down power lines, snow, rain, floods, tornadoes. So it's just their turn, and they'll get through it. They'll get through it.
Yeah,
they will. They will, absolutely will. And my poor cousin Charles, he's doing his best he can to keep his family safe and dry.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about this yesterday. Yeah, Tarp City yesterday, but this happened in suburban Dallas-Fort Worth yesterday. A 16-year-old boy was shot and killed outside of his high school in Arlington, Texas. He was 16, and a 15-year-old boy has been arrested, and he's been found, and he is being held. There was a hearing that was held today. So they have identified this 16-year-old boy as Jashawn. He's described as friendly, quiet kid who enjoyed video games, football, sport outings, and just hanging out with his friends and his family. According to the news reports, police began responding to calls at about 6:55 a.m. Monday at this high school in Arlington, Texas. During a detention hearing for the suspect Tuesday, it was revealed surveillance video captured the shooting as it unfolded. It was also used to identify the suspect. The surveillance footage reportedly showed the suspect firing a long gun into a crowd of students outside the school. The 16-year-old Jashawn was fatally struck, and a 16-year-old girl was hit by shrapnel. Those are one death, one wounding. The girl told police she was sitting on a bench outside the entrance when she was hit. Another little girl was inside the school, and she heard the noise. She saw people fall to the ground, and she thought somebody had gotten sick or something, and she didn't hear it, so she just kept moving through the hallway. But as I said, this one little boy was killed. The 15-year-old he left the scene. He was later taken in, arrested, and taken to the Tarrant County Juvenile Detention Center. And they are still looking for a motive as to why and how he got a hold of this long gun and why he took it to school on a Monday morning. The judge says that he will remain in custody, and another hearing is expected in 10 days. This is Dallas-Fort Worth, and where the rules are definitely, open carry and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but here's a great story. Here's a great story. Listen, check this out. An attempted kidnapping at a bus stop went wrong for a 30-year-old man whose alleged attempt was thwarted by a group of kids who were standing at the bus stop. This
Wow.
guy drove along, stopped, was pulling one of the kids into an empty, what they said may have been an empty building. And the kids ran up on him and scared him and allowed this child to escape. He got away. The bus came along. They told him what happened. They made the report and they found the guy. He's a 30-year-old man, and he has been arrested. And they say his name is Jamal Germany, and allegedly attempted to try to kidnap one of the students. They were standing there at about 7:20 in the morning. He allegedly grabbed the child, pulled them towards an apartment building, and several of the students attempted to intervene, and the kid was able to break free.
Wow.
And they found the man and arrested him. That's the kind of thing, you don't want your children to have to experience this, but if they do, you got
thank God they were. Yeah, if it was your child, thank God those other children were there.
Exactly.
And hopefully we say his name loud and clear so that he gets back to the jail and he's dealt with accordingly.
And they know who he is. Exactly right. Yeah.
And I'm glad these kids didn't pull out phones instead of,
that's instead of taking action.
Yeah, they took action instead of just pulling their phones out and watching.
One more thing, RIP, rest in peace to Willis Reed. He was 80 years old, NBA champion, and one of the legendary New York Knicks Hall of Famer, and made history for the New York Knicks, and died today at the age of 80.
Yeah, we lost a pillar of Chicago too. I don't know if you knew or reported that. Ed Gardner, who was a philanthropist.
No.
Yeah, 98 years old. He was the founder of Soft Sheen, but also he touched my life because he was the one who brought the Regal Theater back, and did all of those things. So rest in peace to his family, or to him, and condolences to his family.
Absolutely. A really nice family, a really great group of people too. I'm very sorry to hear that, Damon. Thank you for mentioning that. People are complaining about the price of concert tickets, and how you go through the regular channels, and even if you go through second degree channels to get your tickets, how high they are. So now Beyonce fans in the US are sharing their trick for paying a lower price for a ticket and getting a vacation out of it. So they're telling people to go the European route, to go online, find your tickets in the city that you want to go to in Europe. You can usually get them for a small fraction. Say if the tickets are going like for $800 or $900, you may be able to find them in these European cities, good seats on the floor for $80 to $90. And then that money that you were going to spend on the ticket, you get a vacation, or maybe use your points and your miles in order to get a hotel and a plane ticket. And so it's kind of thwarting, if you will, the high, ridiculous prices that some of these ticket companies are trying to charge.
Or you just wait till everybody else go and watch Instagram and see the whole show, because everybody gonna post. You can just sit at home. You gonna see. I have seen the entire New Edition tour already on Instagram because people go and they keep posting.
Yeah, that was Sherry Shepherd alone just the other night.
No, but that is a great idea, because a destination concert is really balling. Yeah. And you know what, man, if you take your woman to see a Beyonce in Europe or Asia, you know what's next.
I can guarantee you that. No about it at it. David has given us his jewel for the day. I'm going to close with Yogi's jewel. And this follows along the same lines. Life is too short not to celebrate each day. Absolutely.
Amen.
Thanks, guys. It's been a celebratory time with each of you. I appreciate your joining us and being part of this. Have a good time down in Albany, and be careful, my friend, as well as Damon, get outside and play.
Yes, I'll be out to Memphis this weekend. Chuckles, come see me.
And tell Jed and Mama I said hey and happy birthday.
You know I will.
All right, everybody. Aloha. See you later.